I guess I'll call the meeting to order. We typically do the first ones and then do voting for chair and vice chair. We do not have we do not have Wayne this month, and so I don't know if you guys would like to just postpone that until the next month, or if you guys want to continue on.
Well, we have a full board then, next month.
If you want to do it then, that's fine.
It's up to you guys.
I don't know if you
We-
want to just motion to,
I would make a motion to leave it the way it is. If
I was kind of wondering,
Franklin is willing to still be chairman and Ken, you're vice, right?
I'm vice chair right now.
Well, we can wait till next month till we get a full board.
Okay.
All righty.
That way if we leave somebody out, then they'll be on it.
so,
And we have a new member.
oh, yes, and welcome, Dave. Dave Klinsky is our new Board of Adjustment member, so we're glad to have you.
So do you want me to
Yeah,
conduct
do you want to
this
take over?
meeting?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll call
Ken Anderson,
Here.
Franklin Hahn,
here.
Dean Hoppel,
Yes.
Dave Klinsky,
Here.
and Wayne Runnigan.
Did everybody get a chance to read the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. Okay, Amelia, whenever you're ready, I guess.
All right, please take notice that an application was received from the following persons for a variance of setback requirements: Edward and Karen Voigt and Kevin Voigt and Jessica Kielhofer. And it's part of the Southeast Quarter in Section 27, Township 102, Range 6 of Houston County in Caledonia Township. They're requesting a variance to reduce setback requirements for a proposed dwelling from an existing feedlot. A hearing on this application will be held at the Houston County Commissioners Room in Caledonia at 5 p.m. on Thursday, February 26th. All persons having an interest in the matter may attend the hearing or submit comments relative to the granting or denying of said application, and comments should be mailed to the Environmental Services Department or emailed to the zoning office and must be received by Tuesday, February 17th of 2026 to be included for review prior to the hearing. All comments are considered part of the public record, and this was advertised on February 11th of 2026.
Are the applicants here? Would you come forward, please? I guess I'm going to turn it over to you and let you tell us what you plan to do, and we'll have some questions for you probably.
Well, first to start with about the property, me and Karen have owned that property for 35 years. And Jessica and Kevin are our children, and it's a life estate. After our time, it goes to our children. That's why their names are on there.
Okay,
If that clears anything up, but it's not for them, it's for us, and they both have houses. Okay, when I applied for the variance, the well had not been checked out. Now it is repaired and pumping. It has 150 feet of casing on it. When I applied, we were not sure if the well would be usable and where to build in the proximity to the well. But now the plan is to build east of the well instead of west of the well, which is on the paper here. And the well is approximately 25 feet directly behind that little shed.
to the north.
To the north of that shed. And the house would be to the east of the well, is wherever they can build close or not, with the right buildable distance from the well is what we want. So that increases just by measuring the on that red, on that one
Yep,
paper.
yep.
Pardon?
I follow what you're saying there.
Oh.
Yeah.
That increases the distance approximately 90 feet
Okay,
from the, what was originally where we applied for.
Geez,
And I measured that, I mean, just by using your red line
360.
and, a quarter of an inch equals roughly 38 feet on that map. So I figured and I measured from where the line ends to where past to the well comes to roughly 90 feet. It's,
Well, I like that idea because you get farther away from the cattle shed.
we have plans, we may build a machine shed there eventually sometime, so, that would be to the west then, but, the house will be pretty much straight off the driveway, off of Highway 44.
So your driveway then would be right onto 44?
Well, I currently have two driveways.
Yeah, I know that, I
And,
saw it, I looked at it.
Our plan is to still, we would use them both, they would be, both be connected. You
Okay,
can come in from either one, and part of the reason is for that, so we could have our mailbox on Gap Drive,
oh, sure,
so we wouldn't have to walk across the highway.
yeah, that's good thinking.
And actually, that is still shorter than walking across the highway. Want to get to have a mailbox, and it's not a good place to have a mailbox in that round corner there where, on 44, I think anyway, but. Is there any question about that, where we are building, or what we wanted, or the distance where we wanted to build it, or? Otherwise, I don't have a large acreage, and I need every acre I need to farm on. The land in that area has 100% CER, with the 60 acres averaging 96%. I'm not taking as very little cropland as I can take to use for the house. And the house would be facing south towards the highway, and we'll have a 3-car garage on the west end. And and it would be plenty of distance behind from the highway setback. There's no issue there whatsoever.
So the garage, the 3-car garage would be
On the west side of the house.
Towards-
On the end of the,
no,
Or
towards,
Towards
Kendall's.
the well.
towards Hensel, towards
towards the feedlot,
towards the feedlot, west. And not on the front of the house, but on the end of the house,
okay.
the end. It won't be built into the house, it'll be on the end, attached on the end, on the west end. And,
What about septic?
we'll have to go through all that stuff yet.
None of that's been done yet.
We needed to get a permit before we can go any further. I don't have anything more. Otherwise, I just want to thank Amelia and Jeremy for being very good to work with, and so far have done a good job, and you did a good job on the analysis. I think so. I don't have anything else, so you can.
This is a little different situation than normally we have. Normally we have people coming from the city that wants to build out next to a feedlot, and here we have operators that raise, farmers that raise livestock. I'm just saying that for the audience out there. And, but they have to follow the same zoning ordinance as everybody else does. Now, on that feedlot over there, they have to, did you say, Amelia, that they have to haul out of there? Doesn't have anything to do with this, but they have to haul out of there every so many days and put it in a pit? Their animal waste out of that? Is that how?
Yeah, I guess I don't know the frequency of that. It's been a little while since I was out there, but yeah, all they have are a couple wedge pits at the end of the barn. So it probably isn't a substantial capacity for them, but I don't know if they would just land apply that or haul it over to the large pit.
It's
That'd be a
roughly-
Jeremy question.
It's roughly 5 days is what
Okay,
Pat told me. And now they have switched, about half the building doesn't have freestall pens to it. It has bedding pack.
Oh,
I
okay.
just bought a new spreader that will haul corn or bedding that it's not a
Oh,
liquid.
okay.
I seen them hauling this morning, cleaning out of that about the west half of that building is bedding pack and corn stalk bedding and
Did they mention any expansion to theirs?
you can mention, talk about it.
I talked to Matt a little bit, and they wouldn't have any room for another building there at all. So it doesn't sound like expansion is anything that they would be considering.
Any other questions from the board?
I'm good.
Good.
Maybe
Well, I just have one.
that-
State have concerns on the one coming out on the highway?
And we actually.
Normally don't permit 2 driveways to homesteads.
I was going to mention that we didn't get into discussing the one coming out on the state highway, I guess. Typically, if you have the 2 different roads there, you're going to go with the secondary road. So I don't know if they would permit anything on, especially in that corner. I would venture to guess that he'll have to use gap.
You mean to put a mailbox, you mean, or to?
Yeah, for your access at all. I don't know how much you've used that other one. It looks like it's somewhat existing, but
Oh, it's definitely.
as
it's-
far as like, you would have to apply for an improvement permit to use it heavier than
it's-
just
it's-
field access?
It's straight into there. The only reason when I bought it, that was the only access to it, and living to the west on Gap, I did not want to have to come up to the stop sign and either drive about 50 feet on the Highway 44 to get into there and make a left turn or drive on the turn lane now. So we put that driveway off a Gap. So like for hauling corn home or anything, that's why there's 2 driveways there.
Should be a lot safer there.
Oh, it's on, yeah,
Is there anything in our zoning ordinance that says you can only have 1 driveway, or you can have 2 driveways, or can't you answer that?
That's not in our zoning ordinance. I think when I've had these conversations with the highway engineer before, it's just like they might have something on the highway level if they have an ordinance, but it's also just kind of the custom.
Yeah, but see, this is a state, so the county wouldn't have anything to say about the state road, would it?
Right.
The-
But I think it's just kind of regular transportation planning is that it's usually not, unless you have a good reason for it, they don't typically like to have 2 driveways.
That driveway was there though when they built Highway 44. Originally, Highway 44 went straight west as far as Nelson's farm
Yep,
and then went straight south
Yep.
down to Dotson's and passed up towards Fred Arnold's and went straight again. And so that driveway was put in there when the state of Minnesota built the road.
Okay. Yeah, and that's,
And it's plenty, it's totally straight off the highway and it's plenty wide for any machinery or combine or anything to drive in on that driveway, so it's staying there. It's very hard to get a driveway off of the highway if you don't have it, from my end.
This thing,
It's almost impossible.
Right.
So it's staying there. It's not harming anybody.
Ed, did you do a nitrate test on the well?
I haven't done that yet. There's probably in that area, there's a nitrate issue. The neighbor, John Welch, across the road has had higher nitrates, and he put a osmosis system in, and he's been testing before and after, and now their water is good with that system. I'm not gonna get into the nitrate issue because out there, everybody's blaming everybody else for the problem. The dairy farmers blame the crop farmers for it, and the crop farmers blame the dairy farmers for it, so I'm not getting into the
Well,
nitrate issue.
and that wasn't my intent. It's just for human consumption.
Yeah,
I mean, is it potable water?
huh?
If it's potable water, I mean, if it's under 10.10,
We'd probably get a filter though, too.
Yeah,
like
we'd
John
very
did.
likely get the osmosis system, and
Yeah.
I think there's even, you said there might be assistance on that or something.
I think MDA is working on that,
I think there will
soil
be
and
some.
water.
And,
It must be 300 foot at least, right?
like I said, that well hadn't been used for probably 30, 40 years, or, well, 35 for sure. And, we were surprised, or Larson's were surprised that it had 150 feet of casing. There's very few wells around there that are cased that deep. And it's cased down to the water level, and then we put a new pump in, a new plastic pipe and then wiring, and we ran it on the ground for probably 45 minutes with an alternate generator.
Never slowed down.
And that's what they wanted to see if
Yeah,
it would slow
I've seen
down.
it,
That's
yeah.
normal procedure, and it didn't slow down. So my plan is if I got a generator and we'll run it this spring, and when it doesn't freeze anymore, I can hook up to it, and I don't want broken pipe, so
No, I don't blame you.
we can run it on the ground, and anytime they drill a well or repair a well like that, you're gonna get some dirty water to start with. And
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
so you gotta run it to clean it up.
the only reason I asked is if the well wasn't gonna be good, if that would change your building plans or drill a new well. That was-
Absolutely not. There was an acre and a quarter building site that I have preserved. I could have took a bulldozer in there and cleaned the trees up and the shed and cropped the whole thing, but we've kept it as a building site, and it's not gonna change.
No, that wasn't the impetus of the question. It was just simply as if you got a lot there, you can move the well over in different directions. I didn't know if you would be intent on building or drilling another well if this one didn't pan out. That was all.
Well, I don't know why it wouldn't pan out when they measure the depth of the water. I don't have the numbers, but I mean, they've got them in their
Okay.
records. I mean, it's hundreds of, we had the numbers from John Welcher's well, and we have the numbers from Matt Hendel's well. And all three wells now have about the exact same depth and water level, and so they put pipes, I don't know how far below the pump, and I don't quite understand it, but that's how they do it. And
Good.
Matt Hendel is feeding or watering probably 300 head of cattle, or 200 and some head of cattle on that farm with the old well that was originally there. And he's never had any problems, so I assume there's water there, or plenty of water there.
Any other questions from the board? Is there anybody, public comment? Anybody here that got something to say? We got one written one here, I guess, or we got two.
No, just the one written one that Michelle had handed out, and I can read that if you'd like me to.
Is there anybody that wants to say anything from the public here? If not, why, go ahead. Delia. You want to read it?
So dear members of the Planning and Zoning Commission, I'm writing to express my concerns regarding the proposed construction of a new residence by Ed and Karen Voigt across from our home on Highway 44. First, I would like to address potential safety issues related to the placement of the proposed driveway. Without knowing the exact location, there are important considerations that should be evaluated. If the driveway connects directly to Highway 44 near the Welsher driveway, the proximity of multiple access points combined with the current volume of traffic could create a hazardous situation. Traffic along Highway 44 has increased significantly over the past 10 years, and any additional entry or exit points should be carefully reviewed to ensure public safety. Alternatively, if the driveway is planned to connect to Gap after turning off Highway 44, that configuration may also present safety concerns due to traffic flow and turning movements. Given the growth in traffic in this area, I respectfully request that a thorough traffic and safety assessment be conducted before approval. In addition to safety concerns, I do not support the proposal due to the impact it would have on our privacy. The proposed home would be located directly across from ours, resulting in a clear and unobstructed view of our front porch and windows. From our living room, we would be looking directly at their residence, and they would have a continuous view of our home and yard. While vehicles regularly pass along Highway 44, that situation differs significantly as drivers are focused on the roadway and continue moving. A permanent residence directly across from us would result in ongoing visibility into our property and daily activities. We can already see approximately 10 homes within a mile on either side of our property, and adding another residence, particularly one directly across the road, would further impact the character and privacy of our home. Thank you for your time and consideration of these concerns. Sincerely, Diane Walsher.
So there's one house just directly across from your potential driveway onto 44? Is there a house to the south then, across 44?
Yep.
Well, how does that person get on the road?
Off of Highway, on Highway.
On Highway 44?
Yeah.
Okay, well, it shouldn't be more dangerous one side than the other then.
They don't have a township road access off their side, though.
Okay,
Well, nobody else has got a township road access that lives on the highway. I mean, they only got one access onto the highway, the people that live along there.
Right, if that's your only access point, then you would get access. If you have an opportunity to connect to a township or a county road, that should be the one that's prioritized versus a,
Well, we already have that road. I've been hauling corn and crops, and I've never had a problem. Certainly never had a problem yet.
well, that's something that can be worked out if you get your variance.
As far as the
when you
view
get your
goes,
permit.
we have a right to our property just as much as they have a right to their
Yeah,
property. I mean, I couldn't move it back, I guess, to our original plan, and then it wouldn't be directly across the road from them, but,
Well, you can decide that, I think, when you work it out.
I won't do that.
Oh.
That's not our plan.
It's not our plan. It's gonna stay where
Oh.
we just told you.
Anything else from the board? Otherwise, we're gonna go to the findings. I'll go to the findings.
Yep. So number one, that the variance request is in harmony with the intent and purpose of official controls. Analysis states that this location meets the density control system put in place by the zoning ordinance, and the comprehensive plan encourages development to take place in a manner that minimizes impact to prime agricultural land.
Let's have a roll call vote on these.
Ken Anderson,
In favor?
Dean Hoppel,
Yes.
Franklin,
Aye.
and David Klinsky.
Aye.
Number two, that there are practical difficulties in complying with the official controls, and the proposed use of the property is reasonable. Economic considerations alone do not constitute practical difficulties. Analysis states that the applicants own over 60 acres in this location, and a dwelling is a permitted use. Most of the property is prime ag cropland, and the proposed site is an existing building site and will limit the impacts to prime agricultural land. Dean,
Yes.
Franklin,
Aye.
Dave,
Aye.
and Ken.
I really definitely agree with the proposed building site being a factor. The existing building site, I mean. You gotta acknowledge that that was a building site.
And number three, that the variance request is due to special conditions or circumstances unique to the property and not created by the property owner. Analysis states that this is an area of the county used heavily for agriculture, and as a result, there are registered feedlots to contend with, and the applicants are producers themselves. Franklin,
Aye.
Dave,
Aye.
Ken,
I,
and Dean.
Aye.
Number four, that the variance cannot be alleviated by a reasonable method other than a variance, and the minimum variance which would alleviate the practical difficulty is sought. Analysis states that the landowners may be able to move the structure to the northeast to meet the setback, but the, Board of Adjustment may see that using the existing building site will minimize the impact on prime ag land. Dave,
Aye.
Ken,
I,
Dean?
Aye.
Franklin?
I like the idea that they're going to potentially move the building to the east a little farther. I like that idea.
Okay. Number 5, that the variance will not alter the essential character of the locality nor substantially impair property values or the public health, safety, or welfare in the vicinity. Analysis states that this proposal will allow a farm dwelling, and there are a number of farm dwellings in this agricultural community. Ken?
Aye.
Dean?
Aye.
Franklin?
I,
And Dave?
Aye.
6, that the request is not a use variance and shall not have the effect of allowing any use that is not allowed in the zoning district, permit a lower degree of flood protection than the regulatory flood protection elevation, or permit standards lower than those required by state law. Dean?
Aye.
Oh, sorry, I don't think I read analysis.
no, you didn't.
Analysis states that this is an area variance and it is not in the vicinity of floodplain. So Dean?
Aye.
Franklin?
I,
Dave?
Aye.
And Ken?
Aye.
motion to accept the findings.
So move.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Is there any more questions for the board before
Do we
we?
want to leave the variance the same as what is?
No, I think it should be,
Rather have it
I want it correct.
corrected?
So you're confident in your 90?
Well, I went by my rule, a rule.
Why don't we,
I mean,
I've-
part of
why
it
don't
is
we
then
put it
if we leave the way it is,
approximately-
you have choices.
Uh,
If we leave it the way it was written, then you have, if there's other issues came up, you could still go back to the original plan.
I don't see any going back to the original plan.
so couldn't we, instead of the exact footage, couldn't we say approximately? See, that would put 360 feet from the feedlot rather than 270 at
Yeah.
90 feet.
And when Jeremy did that, I told him that would be the absolute furthest point to the west that
Okay,
we would consider building on. And like I said, we didn't know how the well was gonna play out. If we had to drill a new well, we would probably, I don't know what we would have.
You have to remember how your septic system test goes too. That might vary a little bit. If there was an old existing livestock yard on that property, it's hard to get a perk test. Areas.
That goes back over
That can be many, many years.
50 years. There's several directions we could go with a septic system. That we may be able to go on the old grass where the building site, or that's in grass now.
But if it was ever livestock yard,
Well, it's not,
I'm
That's
just,
all-
I'm
that's-
just giving you the
yeah,
options.
I know, she told me that too.
So,
But there's different options for the septic
good.
system there.
so we should change that, like Ken said, we should change that footage on a proposed motion if that's what we're gonna do.
Well, I measured the red line where it says 270 feet or whatever, where it was, and it's 38.5 feet per quarter inch. And then I measured from the end of the line to where the well is, and it was 5/8 of an inch, so that would be 2/4 and an eighth, so 38 times 2 would be, and then a half was about the measurement that I can come up with a ruler. So,
So Ed, I put it,
If you do the adjustment, we'd only need a 960-foot variance.
yep. Okay, my math
That's a
matches your
little
please.
bit, you know.
Yeah, I guess-
wanna
Rather
play it
leave
safe.
you-
I would recommend
Rather leave, yeah, that's
That's
why I was
where,
saying maybe 1,000 foot and just leave it as, to give you
360 gets you.
flexibility.
Is that what you were envisioning?
Yeah, I mean, that's the way, you can see
Roughly.
the well, where your line ends now is the well. You can see where the well is right there. That kind
360.
of grassy spot with that
Yep,
thing.
that's
that-
the well.
That's the well, directly behind the shed. So, the house would be, east of the well.
Would you want to go like a 350?
Yeah,
Just to give
yeah.
yourself a
As long
cushion.
as as long as it's in that direct, you know, just, yeah. $362, or take away 90 comes to about 270. So I was pretty close.
That's what you got.
Huh?
That's what you got originally here, two
Yeah, yeah,
seventy.
but I mean that, but adding,
Right.
I estimated 90 feet, and I was pretty close.
So
So that'd be 360 feet.
So the 90 and then with just like a 10-foot cushion would put them at 960, so it'd be a motion to grant a variance of 970 feet to meet the required 1,320-foot setback for a dwelling from an existing feedlot. Is that what you guys got?
That's probably the better way to go than what I had said, 960, but that's just using what was there, 90 feet off of what you had on there. I think you got a little variance for just being off a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
bit.
yeah, that's
Rather
fine.
not have you all of a sudden caught the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's,
So it's 9 what then? What'd you come up with?
970,
970?
970?
if that works for you guys.
975.
so that goes right to where the well is then, the 9.
Here, I'll get rid
It would
of.
be, that, the end of the garage could be right where at the,
Basically,
There's roughly
your end of the
three.
garage would be just past the, basically, just in that cropland area.
yeah,
It's on
yeah,
the, on the east side of the well.
yeah, that is, yeah. Originally, there was more grass around there.
Yep.
And always had that fenced off for pasture around that well, and I've worked as close as I can to it. You know, it's, to, around the outside, on the back and the east side of the well, but,
I guess I would
Well, that's-
rather be on the long side on variance than short.
Because we're off 2-3 feet, it's the
I hate
pits.
to be that way.
That was gonna be my question. Your blueprints are already done on the house?
no, we haven't started, we
Oh,
haven't,
give yourself some wiggle room.
yeah,
Seriously, nothing stays the same. Plans are wonderful
yeah,
after
I
you've
totally
changed.
agree. I think we need wiggle room.
yeah,
too.
and, but I mean,
I would be more inclined to just.
it is,
Yeah.
it is
I
a
would
length,
too.
it would be a lengthways house, so
Yeah,
if you go longer, it's gonna be on the east side.
I'd still give us some room.
Yeah,
but you have
not-
more flexibility if they're just, so they have to move it a few feet
Yeah.
all of a sudden, one way or the other, and
Well, I don't care how,
I'd rather. be-
if it goes
Well, it's already, it's
8
already
feet.
written 1050.
8 feet further east, I don't, that's my property, but the west side is where the variance is for up to the garage, so.
Right.
So we're gonna go what then? We gonna go 1,000, is
Say
that?
1,000 feet,
Okay.
nice easy number.
Cut it back, all right, I'm confused.
50 feet
Oh, yeah, this isn't
changed
accurate anymore. Just-
from what's written. She
Well,
only
from what you
changed
had
it
recommended,
50,
yeah.
50 feet.
So, if we're done discussing it, read the proposed motion with the correct footage on there.
So a motion to grant a variance of 1,000 feet to meet the required 1,320-foot setback for a dwelling from an existing feedlot.
So you take 1320 minus the,
Yep, how far you were gonna be.
Yeah.
so that minus the, we come up with 1,000.
On the granting this, I made the motion to approve this. Is there, we need a second then.
Did you make the motion?
I made the motion.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
I'd like to just,
Yeah, go ahead.
are there any other houses within that feedlot setback?
Yes, So Welchers, so yes, if Hendel's did have some sort of project where they could expand there, or for whatever reason needed a feedlot variance, it wouldn't be this house solely impact or causing that. Welchers are within that quarter-mile setback as well.
And,
And Kings is
actually,
less
Amelia,
too, I
the
think.
house,
Across
or
from
Dottie Handle
Dottie Hendel
Oh, yep.
is also
is in
there.
the, is in
You
the,
already got two other
That-
houses that are within that feedlot setback.
Yeah.
you didn't have that on the one there, but,
No, and that one's exempt from that right now, but if it does change hands, it wouldn't be,
Right,
so.
okay.
yeah.
Does everybody understand the motion now? Roll call vote on it. We got a motion and a second, right?
Yeah.
Who seconded it?
Uh,
I did. Okay.
Ken,
Aye.
Dean,
Aye.
Franklin,
Aye.
and Dave.
Aye.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, thank.
Good luck.
thank the board and-
You bet, thanks.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you again.
Yep.
Is there any other business that needs to be done?
We have to talk about, we talked a little bit about it before, on a different night, why don't you, what night works and what night doesn't work? Or do you think we should start at 4 o'clock and have them both the same night? I mean, there's 5 on the Board of Adjustment, there's 4 on the Planning Commission. It'll be 9, 10 o'clock, I'm sure, not maybe for Board of Adjustment but I mean, it's getting late, it would get
It'd get
late
late for you
for the
especially.
Planning Commission.
But yeah, we have 2 applicants that are on both though, so that was kind of the hang up for
Okay.
splitting it. They would have to come 2 nights.
I mean, I don't care, whatever works for the board, that's,
I think it'd be
Or if I
best,
come
try
up
to get it
twice,
done in one
that's-
night.
Just do one night?
If you could do earlier.
Yeah, we can check with applicants and see if that would work for them.
This means another can of Mountain Dew, that's all.
that or milk.
Okay. I just thought I'd check, because I know the last time we had a pretty lengthy agenda, it got to be a lot for one night, so. Alrighty, I don't think I have anything else for you guys.
Anybody have anything? Motion to adjourn,
So moved.
all in favor? Aye. Motion, meeting is adjourned, thank you.
Thank you.